I'm not just doing it with anybody. It's, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or
Also,
I'm not gonna do it. Yeah, and it's like I'm not gonna revisit that with the same person. You know what I'm saying? Like if we in Brazil and Shorty don't speak English, like, yeah, we're gonna bust that down and you're never gonna see her again.
Right.
And she barely could even pronounce your name. You know what I'm saying? We're never gonna see her again. And that's why I also say in the song, soon as we done, she leaving right out the door. We ain't kikiing, we ain't watching Hit the Floor, we ain't watching Teyana and Iman show, we ain't kikiing, we ain't eating breakfast together, ain't none of that. We ain't even, but like put some respect on a woman's swag. I feel like it's always like, they're trying to take that away from the woman to feel like, oh, you doing it because that's what he wants. And it's like, nah,
That's
actually,
not what it is.
I run this, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Don't it always hit different when you realize what you had after it's already gone? Well, Iman Shumpert is learning that lesson the hard way. This man's been out here wilding ever since his ex, Teyana Taylor, popped out holding hands with actor Pierre. Yep, that smooth talker who's been turning heads lately. And ever since that moment, Iman's been spiraling big time. At first, word on the street was that he was pulling every move to get her back. But when that flopped, thanks to her glow up with a certain celeb makeup artist in her corner, he switched lanes real quick. Now he's being full-on petty, claiming that Teyana and Aaron's new romance is all for publicity and calling their whole vibe fake as a dollar store diamond. But here's the real twist. Iman says he's got proof. He swears up and down he's sitting on receipts that show Teyana and Aaron aren't the dream couple they want folks to believe, and he's not holding back. He's throwing shade, saying Aaron isn't exactly the type to ride for black women like that, and then he went even further, suggesting Teyana's not even into men like that at all. Yup, you read that right. Iman went full messy mode and tried to expose everything. This man is lighting matches and watching the whole thing burn, and the drama just turned all the way up. One thing's for sure, Iman did not see Teyana bouncing back this fast from their split. And now that she's shining, he's clearly struggling to keep it together. Iman really wasn't ready for Teyana to glow up this hard, especially not with someone like Pierre, that calm, smooth-talking heartthrob. And to make it worse, the fans are eating it up like it's the hottest love story of the year. For years, Iman and Teyana were that Hollywood couple. Everyone praised their chemistry, called them goals, and even gushed over their cute little family. But now, the energy's completely shifted. People are calling Teyana and Aaron a flawless match. One person even posted, Pierre and Teyana together look like two expensive house cats who come with high vet bills and picky taste. I will not be explaining how I reached that conclusion. The internet is hilarious, but you know that kind of talk bruised Iman's pride. And now he's out here trying to puff up his ego by chasing after Teyana again. But let's be real, Teyana isn't here for it. She's not forgetting how he messed up while they were still together. She moved on, and she's making it known. Still, Iman refuses to back down. Now he's pushing this narrative that Teyana and Aaron are faking it all for the cameras, calling it a PR stunt like he's got insider tea. And to be fair, those whispers about the relationship being for publicity, they were floating around before Iman even said anything. Social media's been talking. Some folks are even starting to wonder if there's truth to it, because yeah, their relationship did pop up out of nowhere. One minute nobody knew they even spoke, and the next minute they were looking cozy all over the timeline. It's got people scratching their heads. And Iman's adding fuel to that fire every chance he gets. But here's the real question. If both Aaron and Teyana are thriving in their careers, why would they ever need a fake relationship? Simple. In Hollywood, image is currency. It's all about staying relevant and keeping your core audience locked in. One wrong move and your support base can flip on you real quick. See, in Pierre's case, his biggest fan base is black women. And let's be honest, nobody rides harder for their own than black women do. They support, uplift, and go to war for the stars they believe in. So if Aaron wanted to keep that loyalty strong, a high-profile romance with someone like Teyana Taylor, that's the perfect power move on paper. But here's where things get tricky. Word on the street is Aaron has a strong preference for white women. Some are even saying he's not really into black women at all, which, if true, could seriously mess with his public image. Because let's be real, once fans feel disrespected, especially black women, that support vanishes fast, no questions asked. And it gets messier. Aaron's ex, Jessica Hardwick, yes, a white actress, has allegedly been out here throwing subtle shade at his new relationship. People online are claiming she's been making low-key comments, hinting that what Aaron has with Teyana is just a front. Not only that, but rumors are swirling that Aaron and Jessica might still be seeing each other behind closed doors. Nothing's confirmed, but the streets are talking. And they're saying Aaron's keeping things low with Jessica while fronting this romance with Teyana for the spotlight. If that's true, this whole situation just turned into a full-blown Hollywood mess. The last thing Aaron Pierre, yes, that smooth-talking Mufasa, is trying to deal with right now is a messy scandal. But the internet is digging deep, and it looks like Jessica ain't the only snow bunny in his past, which, honestly, isn't shocking. Aaron's in his 30s, so it makes sense he's had a few relationships. But here's the kicker. Every woman he's been linked to has reportedly been white. One name making the rounds is Hannah Hurst, a white woman originally from Australia. She's been living and working in London as a CPS lawyer, and since Aaron's also from the UK, people think that's how their paths crossed. Seems innocent enough until you see how they've been spotted together. This wasn't just two people grabbing coffee or keeping things low-key. Nah, these two were seen attending a wedding together. And if you know anything about relationship signals, you know bringing someone to a wedding ain't no casual friend move. That's a soft launch turned hard launch. That's a we're a thing and people should see it kind of vibe. Even wilder, folks online were so convinced by their chemistry that some thought it was their wedding. That's how cozy and connected they looked in those photos, arms linked, smiling like they owned the place. And once that rumor started, it took on a life of its own. So now fans are side-eyeing Aaron hard, because if he really did have that strong of a connection with Hannah, it makes this whole thing with Teyana look a little staged, especially with the timing. And the more people dig, the more this love triangle is starting to look like a full-blown PR storm in disguise. Now look, it wasn't confirmed that Aaron and Hannah tied the knot or anything. But come on, nobody brings just anybody to a wedding. That's not a casual hangout. Weddings are where plus ones actually mean something. So no, this wasn't giving random friend. This was giving something real is going on here. And honestly, it's starting to look exactly like what it looked like. And before anyone tries to act surprised, yes, there's absolutely a pattern here. Hannah, just like every other woman Aaron's been linked to, is not a woman of color. So you already know where folks are going with this. It's becoming crystal clear that Aaron has a very specific taste, or at least he did, up until Teyana popped into the picture. Now, no one's saying people aren't allowed to have a type, but when the pattern is this obvious, yeah, it speaks louder than words. And with everyone talking about his past choices, the conversation just keeps getting louder. At this point, we're not even dealing with speculation. It's just facts being laid out. And if you still need more proof that Aaron and Hannah weren't some random fling, there's a photo floating around that says everything. Aaron is literally kissing Hannah on the forehead. And forehead kisses? That's not something you hand out to acquaintances. That's intimate, soft, real energy. To make it even more telling, Hannah posted that exact picture on Instagram with the caption "My person" and dropped a heart emoji and the infinity symbol. That's not just a caption, that's a message. Because a forehead kiss says, "You matter to me," without even needing to say the words. That's reserved for someone you're locked in with, someone you're deeply vibing with on a serious level. Forehead kisses? That's soft, that's affectionate. And more than anything, that's intentional. You don't hit someone with that kind of energy if you're trying to keep things quiet or unclear. That move screams real feelings. So at this point, let's stop dancing around it. The signs are all there. The body language, the wedding appearance, the forehead moment, it's all telling the same story. Whether they admit it or not, this wasn't just some random connection. The writing is bold and clear on the wall. This was never a low-stakes fling. It's way deeper than that. And now it's getting harder and harder to act like we don't see it. When you zoom out and look at the women Aaron's been linked to, a pattern starts jumping out. And it's not just about skin tone, it's about energy, vibe, and how they move. All these women, they're low-key, quiet. They stay in the shadows, avoid drama, and definitely aren't the ones chasing the spotlight. None of them are out here causing headlines or stepping into the main character role. They move silently, and that's a clear contrast when you bring Teyana Taylor into the picture. Teyana is not the background type. She's bold, loud when she wants to be, and impossible to ignore. She's been that girl in the industry for years. She's got star power, confidence, and a whole aura that commands the room before she even says a word. That's a level of shine Aaron's other relationships never came close to touching. So now the question is real. Was Aaron ever truly comfortable with all that glow Teyana brings? Or has he always been more drawn to the kind of woman who blends into the background and doesn't rattle the spotlight? Because when you line them up side by side, it's two very different worlds. Like I said, a lot of black women in Aaron's fan base aren't here for him constantly dating outside his race. So now, it's starting to make sense why he might have jumped into this PR setup. It could be damage control. But then the real question pops up. What's Teyana getting out of it? Is it clout? Or is there a deeper reason behind the scenes? Well, the word on the streets is that Teyana might be trying to rebrand herself after that messy split with Iman. The divorce had people talking a lot, and some rumors floating around said she might not even be into men like that anymore. Now, whether that's true or not, nobody's saying for sure, but fans have definitely picked up on that vibe from her before. Still, it seems like Teyana is keeping her new image polished and neutral, and that's where this relationship with Aaron comes in. If it is for optics, it's likely helping her reshape her narrative. But let's not forget, Teyana's always been open about her past, especially the stuff she and Iman did behind closed doors. She once admitted in an old interview that she and Iman used to bring other women into their bedroom. That stirred up serious controversy online. One fan even said recently, Teyana and Iman were relationship goals. Now I feel like that interview was tasteless. It just showed no self-respect. They were dragging her hard. But Teyana didn't stay quiet. She clapped all the way back saying, "Let what be a lesson, Patia. I'm not losing any sleep at night over your opinion. Just because I repeat me, enjoy busting women down from time to time with my husband doesn't mean I don't respect myself, so go enjoy your whack life and stay out of mine." That response? Pure savage. But she wasn't done. In another interview, she made it very clear. Those women they invited in, once it was over, it was over. No feelings, no second chances, no emotional drama. She said what she said and stood on it. It's a clean break, period. Teyana doesn't do reruns. She's not entertaining the same person twice, and the way she said it, you could feel the conviction. It was giving. No syndication, no spin the block, no do-overs. Once you're out, you stay out. That kind of energy doesn't leave room for confusion. And in one of her interviews with Jada, Teyana dropped a quiet bomb. She low-key let it slip that when it came to those famous threesomes everyone talked about, she was the mastermind behind it. No hesitation, no dancing around it. She said straight up, it was her idea, her vibe, and she was the one doing the picking. So if you thought Iman was the one pushing for all that, think again. Teyana made it sound like she ran the entire operation, from the vibe check to the final selection. She was in control the whole time, and that flips the narrative in a big way. But here's where things get wild. People still couldn't wrap their heads around why Iman ended up cheating. Like, seriously? They had other women in the mix already, so what was he even out there looking for? What more did he want? This sparked a whole new wave of talk. Fans started wondering if those women were really there for Iman or for Teyana, and that's when folks started throwing out theories that the extra guests were more about her pleasure than his. So now, the rumor is that Teyana jumped into this new setup with Aaron Pierre to shut down the noise and shift the focus. Because let's be real, the internet never stops talking. And for some people, the idea of her dating a man publicly again, even if it's just for optics, might have been the easiest way to quiet the chatter. But still, dating someone just to please social media? That's wild, if it's true. But let's be real, this whole PR relationship theory is not that far-fetched. In Hollywood, it happens way more than people think. Some celebs have even gone as far as getting married just for publicity, so a fake relationship? That's light work compared to what really goes down behind the scenes. I mean, Y'all remember Michael B. Jordan and Lori Harvey, right? That entire setup screamed PR. And what's wild is Aaron, Pierre, and Teyana are now in a very similar situation. Back then, Michael B. Jordan was getting dragged online because fans said he didn't like black women, while Lori was being labeled everything under the sun for dating around the industry. So what did they do? They linked up, smiled for the cameras, and played the perfect couple. That relationship lasted almost 2 years, and surprise, surprise, both of their careers got back on track afterward. No more drama, no more headlines dragging their names, just a neat little image cleanup. Now fast forward, Aaron and Teyana look like they're following that same exact playbook. But here's the wild twist. Word on the street is that Lori Harvey was actually Aaron's first pick for the PR matchup. Yeah, at one point there were heavy rumors that something romantic was brewing between them, but allegedly that was all pushed by Aaron's team to test the waters. But Lori wasn't having it. She shut that down quick with a big "no thanks, leave me out of it." And that's when Aaron's team turned their focus to Teyana. And now look, we're in the middle of this media storm. Meanwhile, Iman Shumpert is out here spiraling, and apparently he's talking way too much. Teyana's reportedly fed up with him airing out her business, and now she's not playing nice. She allegedly went straight to the judge and asked for him to be thrown in jail for contempt. Yeah, it just got that real. Y'all, Teyana clearly wants nothing to do with that man anymore. She just asked the court to throw the father of her kids in jail. That's cold. According to TMZ, Teyana is accusing Iman of purposely leaking messy info about her and their divorce just to get her dragged all over social media. She says those leaks sparked a whole wave of twisted narratives, and now she's catching heat that he created. But it doesn't stop there. Teyana also thinks it's real suspicious that all this drama started making headlines right when Iman dropped a new rap song. Yup, not him trying to turn their divorce into promo for his mixtape. She's basically implying that he's using her name and their mess to fuel his music career. You can't make this up. This whole situation is straight chaos. It's giving desperation, it's giving clout chase, and it's clear Iman is not going down without stirring up every pot he can find. But here's the real question. Do you think he's telling the truth about Teyana and Aaron being a PR stunt? Or is he just salty because she moved on and leveled up without him? Drop your take in the comments. I want to hear everything. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who lives for the drama. We've got way more tea to spill, so I'll see you in the next one.